Yes, personal trainer. Yes.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
you got a bot set up for your page that you're using to get clients or deliver some content or something?
Yeah. Well, I only come across. I heard about ManyChat. I don't know if you heard of the Fitness Marketer Lab.
No, I never heard of that.
They're like a marketing service, and they were. I follow them and listen to a lot of their stuff, and they mentioned ManyChat, and then I've only been on ManyChat for about two weeks now, John.
Okay.
And I've yeah, it's still all new to me because I'm not that really tech savvy. But I set up one bot for my 0 kilo challenge I'm running here at the gym, and I've set up another bot for like a free 7 day meal plan.
Okay.
But that's as far as I've got. Yeah, and I know you can do a lot of different things with the bots, and I was just wanted to know what other things I could do because I probably suppose don't know the extent of what you can do with the bot. You know.
You can do pretty much anything you want.
Yep. I'd like to run it like a kind of a subscription like service through a bot.
You can totally do that.
Yeah, that I deliver like videos and newsletters and everything through there.
Yeah. So if you check my bot out, man, my bot is a paid subscription bot is one of the functions of it. So inside my bot, I've got, and I can show it to you real quick, but inside my bot, I've got premium content. So like
Yes.
when I do these when I do these videos, okay, these are all live videos, and then I obviously record them, or I try to remember to record them. The last one was like 3 hours, and it was great, and I didn't even record it.
Yeah.
But most of them I record, and then I've got all sorts of different functionalities in my bot, and each functionality in my bot has, like, once you get to the end of the demo to see how the functionality works, it's got a little button that says "Show me how." Well, all the replays and all those "Show me how" buttons, they are protected behind a payment. So you can't get any of that content unless you've actually paid me, and you pay a $10 a month fee to get access to that premium content. So the premium content's all delivered in the inside the bot. Like if you look here at this thing right here that says math or calculate, this is just a rudimentary function that shows you how you can have your bot actually perform mathematics. So you go in and get one number and get another number, and then you tell me whether you want to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, and then the bot goes in and actually performs that calculation, right? Gives you back the answer. Now, once you do that, you have this button that says "Show me how," right? So, and I'm actually gonna change this to "Teach me how." So now you have this button that says "Teach me how." So now you see, if you click on this button, you go into this conditional clause where I check to see if you have paid how to set to true. If you don't have that set to true, if this value is not true, then I send you to this flow that literally tells you, hey, this content is protected by money. You need to pay me $10 a month to receive this content. So now if you go in and actually pay for this content, then what will happen is once you pay for this content, that payment happens through a custom invoicing platform that was built by me and my company. Once you pay this invoice, the invoice is given you through here, right through Messenger. You pay right through Messenger. Once this is paid through Zapier, we return back to you and let you know that this user has paid this. And then you go right in through ManyChat and you go in and actually update this value to true, so that now if you come in and show me how, you're going to actually get the content. Now, if you were to ask me how to do this, you would be a little dissatisfied with this content because I don't actually give you any content. I just give you a message and don't give you the video because I haven't put the video there yet.
Yep. Right. Okay. That makes sense. What are your thoughts about, like, if I ran an ad and it said, learn how to create your own training program, and then I could set up a sequence with my bot that would ask them, how old are you? How long you've been training for? What's your goals and everything like that?
Yeah. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to gain weight? Are you trying to lose weight? What's your calorie intake? What's your exercise routine like? And then either come up with either come up with have an automated plan sent to them, or just
Plan, yes.
either have something automated or just use that as basically like a pre-qualification, so that now you get the information and you can literally like call them and do something more in depth. So that would be awesome.
Yes.
I mean, that would be awesome, real successful. I think it would probably be awesome and successful too if you did some video training, right? So you do some video training for different workout sessions, you know, how to do this, make some specifically targeted to specific people, like, you know, make some targeted to fit women that are already fit and they want, you know, a firmer butt or something, or guys that are overweight and they want to lose their belly, or, you know, guys that just want to generally get in better shape. And then go in and make these videos showing what should be your actual training regime. How much time should you spend a day? What exercises should be you doing on each day? And then what you could do is you could go in and you could edit those videos and say, make like a 5-minute video of your exercise routine, and then edit that down to, let's say, 30 seconds, and give that 30-second video out as a free content, right? And then give a call to action, say watch full video. And if they want to watch full video, well, what you would do is you would go in and first you would check to see if they've paid for your content. If they haven't paid for your content, you'll give them that teaser video. If they have paid for your content, obviously you'll just send them right to the full version of the content. But if they haven't paid, first you send them to that teaser video, you know, that 30-second video, and then you give them a call to action, watch full video. Now they click watch full video, and there's your tripwire that says, you know, hey, this is going to cost you $19 or $5 a month, or, you know, it's gonna cost you $7.99 a month, which is a meal at McDonald's that you're not gonna spend anyways, because you're getting in shape. So yeah, and I think that would be great. That would be great.
That's a great idea. You could do like the ad could say like a free online fit health assessment, and it could just go and ask them questions.
Yeah, that would be
assessment.
That would be really, really good. If you come to our training, if you come to the actual bot training, so we got some guest speakers coming in. One of those guest speakers is going to be a guy that's an expert in affiliate marketing, and he actually runs his own training sessions and his own boot camps on affiliate marketing. So if you're interested in making more money by selling other people's products and services, or if you're interested in getting more people to consume your service by having other people actually promote you for a commission of the sales that they generate for you, then you'll want to be on there and learn about affiliate marketing. But let's say as a trainer, you could go to JVZoo, ClickBanks, all these different affiliate places, and you could get an affiliate deal for all these different supplements, all these different weight loss things, or protein powder, and basically offer those through your bot as well, and be making commissions on those products.
Wow, so much you can do, John. That's crazy.
I can also hook you up with this guy. This guy's one of my really good friends. His name's Dwayne Dennis. I'm the CTO of his company. My company holds the contract to do all their software development. And this guy, what he does is Miramix. What they do is custom supplements. Okay, so you as a physical trainer can approach him and become an actual brand. Okay, so you can become a brand, and you can just give him an ingredient. You can start with one of his base products and then tweak it to your own liking, or you can give him a full ingredient of your protein powder, or your weight loss pill, or your sleep aid, or your post-workout acidic supplement, or whatever the hell that you want to actually create. And he'll go in, he'll do your manufacturing, he'll do your product packaging, he'll do your distribution, he'll even do your sales and basically sell your product on his store. But he'll do any of those parts. He'll just do the mixing, and you can get powder. So through him when he creates your products, he will create them in a powder form, in a pill form, in a capsule form, in a gummy form, in a tea bag form, or in a K-cup form. Any of those forms. Well, not any of those forms. I mean, you can get any of those forms, but depending on the mix of ingredients that you choose inside your product, depends on what form. Like if you choose a product that's real heavy in iron, you can't get that in a tea bag or in a K-cup, because iron doesn't dissolve in water. So it doesn't make sense to have that. But you could definitely do the affiliate stuff. You could get your own. this is Mirror Mix, so I'll dump this in the chat. You could do something. You don't have to go through him, but like I said, I can introduce you to him because he's a good friend of mine, and my company does all his technology.
Yeah, I'll be happy to. Yeah,
and you could do something like that where you get your own actual product label as well, so that you have your own products that you're selling to supplement the training sessions that you're doing. Or if you don't want to go through the process of getting your own products, you could affiliate promote other people's products and just get a commission on what they're doing. Obviously,
what was the details of that affiliate guy you were talking about?
His name is Matt Staten.
Matt Staten. And there's a training course that they're doing or something?
Yeah. So he runs this Facebook group right here.
Affiliate Blueprint Marketing, right?
Well, that's his page, but he runs this group right here. So he runs this group right here. And this group is kind of like mini chat group, really, really active people in there giving just a shit ton of value for free, helping each other out. But they're not talking about bots. They're talking about affiliate marketing. And he runs his own training session. Now they're not free like my training sessions, but he runs his own training sessions, and he teaches you how to get started as an affiliate, how to jumpstart everything, bootstrap everything, and really go in and actually start making money just through your affiliate promotion.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, I'll just write that down too, and
how to get affiliates as well. I mean, you could always benefit from that. You could always benefit from having, let's say, 100 affiliates out there in your area that are just sharing your content, trying to get you new clients, because they know if they get you a new client and that client is going to, have $1,000 spend for your training sessions, you're going to pay them some $250 or something. So now they're just going to be out there hungry all the time. Once a week or something, they're going to be sharing your link, trying to drive you clients. If they're talking to their friend and their friend's going to the gym, they're going to be like, man, my guy over here, he can get you fit in 2 months. Just go talk to him. Why? Because they know you're going to give them some money on a kickback. So
that's right. That's crazy. Oh, it's like you don't know where to start, so much.
Well, definitely start with your bot. So definitely start with your bot and actually building up your bot where you have users constantly engaging with your bot and you're delivering them something good of value, even if you don't monetize it today. Because if you think, all right, now if you look literally, I do free training. All right. So my training is free training. I started it last week. And this is the gross volume on my free training. Okay. So I'm offering 100% free training. Right now, I do give you the option to give me some money if you want to give me some money, but you don't have to. Everything's completely free, but you do have the option if you want to give me some money. So this is how much I made in less than a week on my free training. Now, in my free training, I do these live training videos, and then in these videos, whenever I'm training people, I'll let you know that, hey, you can come back to this training, you can come back to this page, and you can give me some money if you want to, because you see that I just spent 2 hours with you, and I just gave you 2 weeks worth of work that you can go now and actually implement and use that to make money in the future. And you're going to get a value. You're going to get even a one-on-one hour training session with me. You're going to get some additional things. So you can see that I've generated this money, and I've generated this from free training. Now, the key is that let's say even leave that $1,000 that I generated, that will be 2,000 by the end of the week. Just leave that. But let's say no one's paid me anything. Now I'm going in, I'm helping you, I'm helping all these other people. Literally, I'm helping, let's say, 100 people a day for free. I'm creating so much value for free. Now, let's say I record all that and I continuously help people on an automated system over and over and over, and I provide somebody value for a month. Every day for a month, you're getting free value from me, and you're seeing results from that. Now, guess what? Come 1 month later, when I come to you and I approach you and I say, you know what? I've got a great fucking deal for you. It's It's $197, and you are going to learn so much shit, right? It's going to be so packed with value. Guess what? You already trust me, man. You've been watching my shit for free for a month, and it's been changing everything you do. You'll bite and you'll go ahead and pay. So you want to start with your promotions and delivering that content as soon as possible, even if you're not going to monetize it today, because it will help you in the long run build up that brand and build up that trust where people know who you are, and they feel like they have a connection to you already because they've been watching you, they've been following you. So now it's going to be so much easier to monetize them in the future if that's what you want to do, is monetize. So better start now.
So you reckon just focus on now building up that know, like, and trust factor by giving a lot of value and free content and information?
That's correct.
That's it. Okay.
And whatever you're good at, and if you're good at a trainer and you're good with helping people with their diets, or helping people just with the sheer motivation of pushing themselves to do better from a physical health perspective, right? And that's what you're actually good at, then that's what you need to be giving content on. That's what you need to actually be giving value on. And you go in and do it like everybody that you see is successful. You go in and do it where it's not in a sales pitch, where it's just nothing but the actual value. You're not promoting yourself. You're just giving the value for nothing, and you're doing it in a very energetic, exciting way where it seems like it's really your passion. That's really what you love, what you care about. So people are going to get this perception. You're not after money. You're not asking for money. You're not after money. You're just giving value. You're giving great value, and you love what you're doing. You're so enthusiastic and passionate about what you're doing that you must be an expert in it. So now whenever it comes time for that dollar sign, they're just going to throw money. They're just going to throw it up, and they're going to do it with a smile on their face.
Right. Yeah, because the last few months, John, I put a lot of videos up on my my personal page and my my Evolution business fan page, Facebook.
Right.
I put 2, 3, 4 videos up on there about all things to do with health and fitness, loss, muscle gain, just all sorts of topics. Could I take those videos now and put them in a bot? Because I've got so many videos there. I do heaps of videos.
Yeah, totally. You can grab them all, put them all in a bot, or at least put a link to them in a bot. So you're limited to the amount of videos that you can actually put in the bot. You're limited not to the amount of videos, but the length of the videos. You can't put a really long video. I think it's 30 seconds. Seconds is a maximum. But you can always link to the videos, right? You can host the videos privately somewhere. So let's say that no one can actually find them unless they're in your bot, and they get the link to your actual bot, and you can deliver the content through there.
Right. So much value you give, John.
Well, if you spend some time, especially I said, you come to my training, you spend these 35 hours or as much of it as you can learning about these bots. You go in and build your own bot, and you do really good. Trust me, you'll be able to walk in. You must know other trainers, right? You must know other guys and girls that are out there training. You'll be able. Think of it. If you go in and implement this bot and have this bot all set up that's doing this, what do you think you can offer them? Especially if you can show them you just got one client through your bot, right? I got one client through my bot. And I've got my bot. It's doing all these different things. I've got this engagement. You'll be able to go in and get, at least $1,000, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 by selling this bot. And literally all you're going to do is clone it over to them, give it to them, give them a template, and either let them manage it or charge them a fee to do the to do the maintenance. And then what you do whenever you charge them a fee, let's say you charge them $1,000 a month maintenance fee or a $500 a month fee to maintain the bot and maintain their content. You find you outsource, which is how I'm over here in India, and the reason I'm over here is because I outsourced all my work to a foreign country, because they're much more cost effective than I am in the U.S. In the U.S. as a developer, I made $120,000 a year as a developer. Right. Guys over here with more experience than me. I got a guy that worked at IBM for 4 years. He had 6 years of experience before working at IBM. I recruited him from IBM as a lead developer. The guy makes less than $20K a month, and he is fucking happy as hell. He is completely happy because he makes 50% more than he did at IBM working for me. All right. So that's what you do. You get
Yeah, I do that now. I outsource to Arc Sunday, and he's in India too.
Yeah, so you outsource your VA work. You get these guys now.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah,
You've built their bot, and now they're paying you a monthly retainer for just
right.
maintaining the content. They're going to deliver the content to you. They're going to produce the content and deliver it to you. You're just going to go in and
Yes.
curate it and inject it into their bot, and you just have your VA do that. Your VA is going to cost you, let's say, a decent VA over here is going to cost you maybe $200 a month for a decent VA over here. That guy can
Yeah.
curate 4 or 5 bots. He can handle 4 or 5 bots. So if you're charging him $500 a month, then you're making $2,500 a month. You're paying him some $200-300, so you're making an easy pay residual just off of literally doing nothing. Because you can even automate that whole entire process, and you can have these guys send you an email with their content, and through Zapier you can forward that email to your VA. Never actually have to do anything. It's just all an automated process, and you're just
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yep. No, that's great. Yeah, but John, in in the mini chat, hey, you get your screen up now.
right.
I just wanted to understand exactly what all these things down on the side tab, what their functions were and what they do.
All these.
Yeah, all the live chat and growth tools and.
Yeah, sure. So your dashboard just kind of gives you an overall of, your quick link. It lets you see your active subscribers, lets you filter through a date range, kind of see this little graph, see according to this date range, see how many total subscribers that you have, how many unsubscribers you have, and what your net subscriber is. So that's all your dashboard is. Your audience is literally just a list of your actual subscribers. Who are your actual subscribers? That's it. You can go in and filter these guys if you want, and you can say, "Hey, show me all my men." Right.
Yes.
So you can go in and filter these guys. If you have tags, if you've tagged these guys, let's say I want to tag people who I've delivered this ebook to, I can go in and find these people who I've just delivered this ebook to. You got some bulk actions. You can remove this tag. You can subscribe them to a sequence. You can clear their custom fields. You can set a custom field for them. You can unsubscribe them from your bot, et cetera, et cetera. You can go in and basically filter them by what they opted in, how they came into your bot, by what sequence they are. You can go in and actually look and see, okay, I want to filter them by whose birthday is this date right here. So now I can find everybody whose birthday is that date. So you can filter them by So, for example, what you could do is you could have during that intake process that you're talking about to intake this person, to give them a custom regimen
program or whatever.
Right. Right. One of your questions could be like, what are you trying to accomplish? And you got some predefined answers, gain body mass, gain strength, tone muscles, lose weight, or lose endurance, something like that. So now you can inject that data into a custom field, and you can go in. Let's say you've got some affiliate product that you're promoting that's really great. It's a really new protein that's great for post-workout to boost your muscle mass. So now you go in and you actually see your audience. You filter everybody. That is tagged in objective. Let's say you have some objective variable, and that's where you store what they're trying to do. So you say, hey, anybody whose objective is gain muscle mass. So now you can target them and just send those guys out this promotion for for whatever. So here you just go in and search. You can go in and search somebody, find somebody, and then basically click on these people and find their information, find whether they're subscribed to you, the language they speak, their time zone, all the tags, what sequences they are, how they opted in, all the custom fields that they have, and what values they have set, and you can start a chat with them. And then you have this little section over here where you can just basically see a high level, how many people are tagged with ebook delivered, how many people want training today, right? So, and then you can just quickly access that. So how many people have requested a feature from my bot? Well, I can see there's 31 of them, and just click it and I can find out all 31 of them right there. So, so that's what that does. Now your live chat, Your live chat is just where you can physically have a chat with people. So here you can just go in and you see this guy right here. I see all his information over here, his tags, sequences, how he opted in, the custom fields and values that they have. I see the rest of my users over here. And then I can go in. I can go in and just have a literal chat with them and send them and continue a chat, a live chat.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
So this is really helpful, because if you look at this live chat versus if you look at the actual bot itself, wherever the bot is, if you look at this bot, a lot of these people, it's hard to message people right here because these people are interacting with your bot and your bot's replying.
Yeah.
But if you want to find people that your bot wasn't able to reply to and they're physically waiting on you to talk to them, then you can go in and find these guys right here in your live chat. If you set mini chat up properly, then these people will only be people that you need to physically talk to. Everybody else has been handled by your bot and served up content by your bot, so they won't show up here.
Yep. Cool.
Okay, so that's all this is. Then you got these growth tools. These growth tools show you all your different growth tools that you've already created and the conversion ratio, impressions, opt-ins, all that good stuff. It shows you all that good stuff, and it allows you to create a new growth tool. Now, you got a whole bunch of different growth tools, like literally a bunch of different. I seen that
last night. Yeah.
You see this guy right here?
Yep.
So this guy right here, this up here, this is a growth tool. It's this, it's this bar growth tool. If you go in and actually sign up for this guy, then you see here's another growth tool right here. This is in the messenger. That's this little button right here. These are pretty self-explanatory. They're pretty much the exact same thing. They're pretty much the exact same thing, and you can see what they do. I mean, you can go in and see a preview of them and see what they actually do, right? And they're pretty much the same thing. This model is the same thing. They're just in a different presentation. This guy is just a pop-up model. This guy is page takeover, where he takes over the entire page, right? So he'll just pop up and cover the entire page unless somebody exits him out. This is that button, which is, pretty straightforward. And then you've got this box right here, which is also pretty straightforward. It's just a box little area. You can put an image here and everything. And then you've got this landing page, which is almost like the page takeover, but this itself is its own landing page that you can just give a URL to. This is not attached to any website. This is just like a simple ClickFunnels opt-in page.
Okay, cool.
Then outside of that, you've got these other tools, these other growth tools. We went over that landing page. This is a messenger ref URL. A messenger ref URL.
What is that?
That's a URL that literally is a link to your messenger with a reference parameter attached to it that allows you to inject a user to bypass your get started message, to bypass your welcome message, and be injected to whatever flow that you want. So for example, typically a user interacts with your bot and they hit get started and they see your welcome, right? So let's say you want to run some Facebook ad and you want to promote this free health assessment that we just talked about doing, right? So you've got some flow. That flow is called free health assessment, and you got a whole series of messages, a whole flow, a whole routing system to go in and finally do this and deliver this health assessment. Well, what you can do is you can go in and create a messenger reference URL, and you can point that to that free health assessment. So anybody who clicks on that link, instead of going in and having to get started, go through your welcome message in your bot, they're instantly delivered that particular flow that you wanted to deliver.
Flow. Okay.
Correct. And now you can promote this. And the good thing about this is you can promote this, and this is one of the only growth tools that is going to work if somebody shares your post, because if they share your post has this messenger ref link in it, and anybody who clicks this link is going to be routed right into your bot and subscribe to your bot.
Yep. Cool.
So then you've got this Facebook ads JSON.
Yes.
This is a little bit more advanced tool for creating Facebook Messenger ads. So whenever you create a
I've done one from your video.
Okay. So then you know what those are already. Whenever you create a Facebook ad, you have the
Yes.
option to go in and choose Messenger as a destination. So
Yes.
I already have one started here. You see Connect in Messenger. I've already got one started. And whenever you go in and actually run this ad and you get to this page right here where it says set up messages, you go to this JSON right here. You usually start here, but you go to this JSON right here and you just select everything and you delete it. And then you come right back here to ManyChat. And if you look in one of these growth tools that I already have that says JSON right here. So if you look, you get this JSON.
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna get this JSON right here. So you're just gonna go in there and you're gonna paste that in there, and then that's it. Now you're getting that. Now I just got that message. See, there's that message, that ad message. And if I click sure I do, then that actually routes me into my flow for whatever that message flow was, which is to get somebody to sign up for my free training course.
Yeah, I seen that your video that you're done with that, because I was having problems with it. It was saying too many characters, and you said that it was the first message don't put too much in there.
Correct.
So and it worked.
Yeah, so you just want to, if you have too many characters, then what you want to do is you just want to go into these opt-in actions, and you just want to go on this starting step. This is the only step. Yeah, because if you were a programmer, you would know that what happens when they do this content chaining or they do any of this routing to another flow, it's called a callback function. So they'll send some data to Facebook. Facebook will deliver it. And then there's a callback function. When Facebook finishes that delivery, it will call back. It will hit a route on ManyChat.
Yes.
We let ManyChat know, hey, I've done this thing. Now, ManyChat has an integration. When they receive that callback function, that's a trigger to hit another API call to Facebook and send them this next part of your message. And that just keeps happening. They send the next part of your message, so Facebook delivers that. Facebook hits a callback to let you know, hey, I've delivered that message. That callback on ManyChat side, they said, oh, great, you delivered that.
Right.
Here's the next one for you. So this first flow is technically the only thing that the JSON gets generated for, because this entire guy right here, is managed all on ManyChat side through a callback function. So Facebook doesn't even actually know about this guy at all. So you just want to limit this guy. As long as you limit this guy, you won't have any issues at all.
Can I go in and change that after that starting sequence, change the flow while the Facebook ad is running, and it will?
The only thing that you can't change is starting step.
Okay.
You can't change. I mean, you can change this. You can change this, but it won't do shit if you change it, because you've already generated the JSON. Because you've already generated this JSON and given this JSON to Facebook, and everything inside there, everything in here. If you, like I said, if you know programming, you see right here. Here's the actual post back from. Here's the post back going back to ManyChat with an ID, and this ID is actually representing that first message. And ManyChat, I'm assuming, has some type of. They have some type of mapping table that will map this ID to the next message's ID and then send that next message. But the entire message is generated in this JSON, and you give this JSON to Facebook. So if you go in and change this first step right here, Facebook doesn't know that you've actually. Doesn't know that you've actually changed it. Now, the second step right here, Facebook doesn't even know about that at all. Facebook just knows that, hey, I've got this first message, and when I deliver this first message, I need to basically do a post back and call an API on ManyChat and let them know, hey, that message you gave me, it's been delivered out. Now, ManyChat, it's up to them to say, hey, thanks for that. Here's a new message. So ManyChat just handles this on their side. So anything after this first step, then yes, you can edit that, and that will be live. That will be live.
It will change straight away.
Yeah, and just give me like 5 seconds so I can just grab this water real quick.
Yeah, have a drink,
So that basically goes over that. Then you got this Facebook. You've got this Facebook comments. This Facebook comments is pretty straightforward. This allows you to create a post, and then after you create a post, you can go in and set up this Facebook comments tool, and anybody who
Yep.
comments on your post will be delivered your message. Okay. So,
Okay.
Alyssa asked a pretty good question. Can you have Messenger Ref and comment growth tool connected on the same post? And yeah, you can. And that's a really powerful. That is a really, really powerful combination. And I'll tell you why that's a really powerful combination, because people are very stupid. So whatever you can do, like to give you an example of that, I run this ad right here. I've been running it. You can see I've spent $800 running this ad. It's got $1.30 cost per lead, 556 leads. So I run this ad right here. I've been running it for some time. All right. If you actually look at this ad, and I'll just go in, this is what you have to do to connect that to a dark post. You just need to go in and get this guy right here. And then you'll give that to that comment tool so that you can make the comments work on a paid ad. And you can see there's clearly a call to action that says learn more right here, that you need to click. You need to click this right here to learn more. But guess what most people do? They comment on this info. Can I have some info? Why? Because they're stupid. So if this is your link to if this is your ref link to your flow, you could assume that 20-30% of the people, they're not going to click this. They're going to come to this comments and they're going to say, hey, I know you told me to click this link and you'll give me more info, but I'm not that smart, so I'll just make a comment here and ask you if you can give me more info. So now your comment tool can go in and automatically deliver them that info. You could even have a message that says, hey buddy, you didn't want to click the link below, above to get some more info. Would you like me just to go ahead and send you that info through a message? And then they're like, yeah, I would. And then bam, they now get all your info.
Yes. Cool. Very, very good.
John.
So that's that. Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Hey, yeah, just a question. Sorry, unless you're still going on that same topic, just had a quick other question. Maybe you covered this earlier, but ManyChat, for example, the pricing structure, it is on a per page level. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So if I'm trying to set this up on 5 different pages, then that pricing structure is on the per page. From what I was checking out with ChatFuel, they seem to not have that pricing structure on a per page basis, at least on their free account, which doesn't seem to have all the limitations as well. What is your recommendation as far as these two tools? They seem to do similar things, but obviously they're divergent in terms of ManyChat has more of the growth tools built out. But again, from a pricing standpoint, especially getting started, ChatFuel seemed like an easier approach as far as experimenting and having the option of going with multiple pages as opposed to just a singular page.
What's their price point over there at ChatFuel?
I think, well, actually it's free. My understanding is it's free unless you want to go with their unbranded account, in which case it's $30 and it goes up from there based on number of active subscribers. But if you're not on the unbranded model, they don't seem to have a pricing structure in place for number of subscribers or number of pages.
Well, I would say I've used ChatFuel before. I've built bots on ChatFuel before. I've built bots on ManyChat. I've built bots on Botsify. I've built custom bots on Node.js. And as far as a platform, as far as any platform, I prefer ManyChat because you can build bots faster. You can build bots quicker. They have more functionality, more things to do, and most importantly for me, if I build a bot and I'm going to do a handover to my client, if I build a bot, man, typically I charge $100 an hour for my time to talk to a person, physically have a verbal conversation with somebody. Okay. So if I'm going to hand over my bot to a client which I am going to do because I don't want to maintain it for you, because I don't want you calling me, telling me, hey, do this, do that. I just want to build out the logic and the flows and let you update the content. Now, once I deliver this bot to you, I want you to be able to easily, as a non-technical person, go in and very easily, without a lot of work, go in and actually figure out what to do and intuitively be able to build your own flows, build more flows, add more content, update things, navigate things. If I put you in Chat Fuel, it is not such an intuitive and easy platform as ManyChat. At least not time I checked. Last time I checked. Last time I was in Chat Fuel was probably about 2.5, 3 months ago was the last time I was in it. So now if I build that bot out for you, whenever I deliver this to my client's going to be on the phone with me. He's going to be like, John, I can't do this. I don't know how to do it.
Well, you mentioned something here right now. I wasn't aware that it's easy to transfer a bot that I built to someone else. And I think only recently I saw some comments that you can actually now duplicate your bots. So in other words, if I'm trying to build templates for myself to use with different clients, within ManyChat I can duplicate them, correct? It's under settings, I believe?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong?
So one, let's say I build out this room booking, right? And I built this out on a live training. I built this out on a live training earlier for somebody who needs to be able to book out conference rooms or meeting rooms for, chunks of time for somebody. So I built this out for one person. And now I got 6 other people who see this functionality and they want the exact same thing. Well, I can just go in here and I can duplicate this, or I can clone this right to another page, and I can just put this flow right on another page and done. Now I can tell this guy, now literally what can I do? I've got people all the time that ask me how to do this, how to do this, how to do this, how to do all this stuff, right? So now I can just go in and say, hey, you know what? You need this lead conversion calculation. Guess what? How about you just pay me $7 for it and I'll give it to you. So now I can just resell this thing over and over. I can sell this thing 200 times most likely, make $1,400 for what was an hour of my time that someone actually paid me to go in and show them how to do. So I can easily copy this. I can easily clone this. I can clone this entire bot to another page if I want to, not just an individual flow. So I can do either or. I can clone the entire bot, or I can just clone an individual flow.
Now, when you clone the bot, and if it has Zapier components, those would need to be cloned separately, I would assume, within Zapier, correct? And mapped to the new bot.
When you clone a bot, what you need to do is you need to take an inventory of all the things that are in bot A that are not going to be in bot B. What those things are going to be is those things are going to be your custom fields. Those things aren't going to exist. So you need to go in and be able to actually go in and first create. If you want to do it successfully, you want to go in and first create all those custom fields, all those custom variables that don't exist in your target bot. Then you can actually map over your flows. Now, once you clone over your bot and map your bot, everything should pretty much work out of the box. And then yes, you'll need to go in and actually clone your zaps, which you can duplicate in Zapier. You can just clone those zaps, and then you just need to actually update them to authenticate with whatever other accounts that you're going to authenticate instead of the ones you're currently authenticated in.
Okay, so the process then will be, before cloning, would be to create a duplicate of the custom fields within the other bot, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and after the custom field, did you say create it in a different ManyChat account for the client? I would assume it has to be in their account, right? Because you'll be passing it over to the client.
It doesn't have to be in their account, but if you want to get rid of the client, or not at least maintain the bot, then yes, you want them to create their own account. So I charge my clients a maintenance fee, but I don't actually maintain their bot. I charge them a maintenance fee for a retainer in case they actually want in case they want support from me and they want to talk to me and they want me to actually remember what their bot is about. So if you want that security that I'll be available to talk to you, then I'm going to charge you a retainer. That retainer is not because I'm actually going to go in and update your content and maintain your bot. You're going to do that yourself. But yes, you want to, the easiest process, tell that guy to make you an admin of his page temporarily. Tell him to actually get a ManyChat account and then connect his page and then invite you as an admin of it. and then you're off to the races. Now you just go into that account. You can see it right in your mini chat dashboard. You can go in there. You can actually set up all the custom fields, and then you can do the cloning, and then you can go on the back end and do all your Zapier cleanup.
Right. But were you saying that the client would not necessarily need their own ManyChat account? In other words, could I give a client access to just a singular bot within my account?
No.
No, right? So they would have, if they're going to do their own content and such, they would need their own ManyChat account, correct?
Correct.
Okay, got it. One other quick question on this. You mentioned pricing. There's a lot of templates popping up out there. So what is the recommendation you have, or your general practice as far as pricing a bot for a customer that you're actually developing something for them? Because even like you mentioned yourself, once you create something, you might even sell it off for a few dollars simply because it's already done and your time is more than compensated. But in terms of value in the marketplace, what is the price scale currently that is acceptable out there for developing a bot for a client?
Oh, so there's a,
like the one you showed, like the one where you showed for the, I think you showed one for reservations, right? Like a couple seconds ago.
Yeah. So the price really greatly varies, but in my perspective and in my approach, I don't use template bots. I don't sell template bots. I'm not going to use a template bot, and I'm not going to offer it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first spend at least 5 hours talking to you. We're going to first at least talk for 5 hours. I'm going to figure out what you do. Tell me about your business. Why are you in this business? Why did you start this business? How did you get the idea? Why? Because I want to figure out your brand. I want to figure out the attitude of your company. I want to figure out what the voice of your company is, so that whenever we create a bot, the persona of the bot is going to match what your company is trying to actually represent. So now so we're going to spend some time obviously talking about that. If you're a business owner like me, man, and somebody queries you and asks you about, hey, why did you start this company? How did you get into this? That guy's going to talk for like an hour or 2 hours about that stuff, right? He's just going to ramble on and on about that. So now you collect that information. Now, what is it that you're trying to actually achieve overall as a business, in which you're trying to get a bot, so we can figure out what the best way is to actually help you. What are your current processes and flows? What things are you currently doing right now? Let's figure out where you're doing things that could easily be automated through some process or through the bot itself. So let's figure out all these particular things. Do you have some marketing strategy already? What is that marketing strategy? How is that put in place, so that we can figure out how to actually augment that with the actual messenger marketing? So we're going to spend 5 hours, 10 hours, maybe 15 hours, depending on how talkative you are, just in getting information from you before I go out and actually start engineering what your bot should be doing, how it should be doing. Now, from there, I could use a lot of templates, right? From there, I could figure out you need this, this, and this, and I've already got some basic structure that I could use for this, and then I can go in and actually tweak that to meet your actual custom needs. Obviously, the content I'm gonna have to curate, because I can't give every bot the same content, because then that whole first R&D of the persona of your company is just completely useless. So. And ultimately, you want the most money that you can get, right? So for that, you need to actually invest some time, and you need to actually show the value that you're going to actually bring to them. And trust me, if you're some guy and I come to you and I say, hey, look, I got a bot. It's the best thing for your business. It will help you with all this stuff. It's $1,000. I'll get it set up in a day. Versus if I walk in right after that guy and I say, I build bots for professional companies. I build bots that help people. So I want to see if you're interested in it. What we're going to do, let's schedule a time. Let's talk about it. These are my average prices. I don't want you to get scared about those prices. But first, if you think that this is something that you could be interested in, everybody's actually doing it. Let's spend a little bit of time. I'll invest the money in that time up front. I'll invest that, so you don't have to make any investment whatsoever. And after we start to spend this time, once we get to a threshold that you're either going to know, yeah, I really want to do this, or no, you don't want to do this. If you get to that point, no, you don't want to do this, then fine. Then I don't invest any more of my time. We don't waste time together. It didn't cost you anything. Once you get to the point where you're like, yeah, I really want to do this, well, then you're going to get an invoice for all the time that I just spent at X per hour. And then we're going to go in and now spend more time, and that's going to cost this much. And then from there, I'll be able to actually formulate how how long it's going to take your bot based on what we've determined that it needs to do, and what stages can we build it. Do you want to build it all at once? Do you want to build it over milestones and get some initial functionality working? And let's say now after this, my price point for the bot becomes $15,000 versus $1,000. I guarantee you that guy will still go with me because what the hell did that first guy know? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
That dude just walks in and says, "Hey, I got some shit that will work for you. It's $1,000. I don't even know who you are, what your business is, what you're trying to accomplish." So he's going to actually see the difference, and he's going to realize that I'm probably not going to get a huge return from this first guy. From this other guy, I'm going to have a huge investment, but I'm going to get a huge return for that. So I don't recommend the template bots at all. I mean, you want to, what I recommend always in sales. Now, I'm an engineer, man. I've got 2 degrees in engineering, 1 in information technology, 1 in mathematics. I'm not a sales guy, but I am a genius guy. All right. So sales should be pretty easy if you can engineer a computer, right? If you can send a space shuttle into space, then sales should be pretty straightforward. And from my perspective, people value their time, right? Everybody values their time. So if you want to actually be able to get somebody to buy something from you and lead themselves into the sale, just consume their time. Get them to consume their time in you. The more time that they spend, that's why you want to spend that 5, 10, 15 hours talking to that guy. Because if he spends 15 hours talking to you, you know how valuable you are to him? I mean, that guy, I mean, everybody values their time at least $100 an hour, right? Everybody does that. They have a value of their time. You know, even me, I spend so much money just because I don't want to spend time waiting. You know, take some money because I don't want to wait because I want that time. So if you can get your potential client to invest time, and you can if you just get him talking about his business, what his passion is, why he started doing that, what his pain points are, what he's trying to accomplish. So you get him to actually spend this time, and you do it with no commitment from him, right? Now you've done 2 huge things. You've created a value because he's given you his time and he holds a value in that. And you've created this respect because he realizes that you're still not asking him for money. Right. And if you do that for some time, now you can't do it forever, and you have to be smart enough to do it to the people who have the budget and will actually convert, because if not, you're going to waste a lot of time. But if you do it right, you don't ever have to ask that person for money. That person will literally ask you, because trust me, I have people do it every day on these live training sessions. They just ask me, "John, how can I pay you? You've given me so much value today. How can I give you money?" And then I'm just like, "Oh, hey, here's a link. You can pay me right here." I don't even have to ask people for money, and neither do you. You just have to give them enough value where they start to realize, like, look, if I give you money, what are you going to do for me? What are you doing for me right now? You're fucking changing my world right now. So if I give you money, now what are you going to do for me? And those guys will just ask you straight up, how can I pay you? Where can I pay you? How do I buy something from you? How do I get you to actually work for me? And then you can charge $15K for the same template bot that dude, literally, you can charge now $15K for the same template bot that dude was going to charge him for $1,000 for. And that guy will never even question if you gave him a template bot, because you spent some 15 hours talking to him about his company. He trusts you. You must have built something custom for him. He won't even ask what's going on.
Got it. You know, you mentioned an interesting thing here. You talked about the upfront consultative exploratory session where essentially they're investing their time, and so are you, but there's no upfront cost to the client. However, if the client does go forward with you and the project, only then do you charge for that time that was spent up front, right? Am I getting that so far?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Now, as far as setting the price for that upfront time, is that something you normally would tell the client prior to engagement in that initial conversation, or is it after the fact, saying, now that here's your plan, and if you want to move forward, this is the amount of money to compensate for the time we've spent, or do you not even bring it up and just put it into the price of the product overall?
Yeah, I'm going to tell him on average what I charge for my time. I'm going to tell him on average what I value my time at. I'm going to give him 2 values. Okay. I'm going to say, this is what I typically charge for my time, and this is what I value my time at. You know, I'm going to charge you $100 an hour, but I value my time at $500 an hour. That's how much I value my time at. I'm going to give him those 2 variables. Now, once we go through this exploratory session, none of my time is actually set in stone, right? Now that amount is going to change and vary based on the total dollar amount that I'm going to end up charging this guy. But yeah, I'm going to give him an ideal. You know, I'm not going to go in and say, you know, hey, I want $100 an hour for my time, and then now I done spent 10 hours with you, and that's, you know, $500 that you owe me, or that's $1,000 that you owe me now for that time, and blindside you and you not know it all. I'm going to give you a realistic expectation of what I value my services at.
Right. And their safety net, their risk-free basically pitch here is, you know, they don't want to move forward with the project. They don't owe you anything.
Yeah. You
right.
know
So they're not making an upfront commitment to pay just for the time invested up front. And that's because that also gives a good sense to them that you have a lot of confidence and that after that session, you'll be able to actually demonstrate value.
Yeah. And
at that point, they'll easily decide.
Yeah, and then you just pre-qualify them correctly. You go in and pre-qualify them and make sure that you have the lowest possible ratio of wasting your time with an unqualified buyer. You make sure you do everything you can to make sure that that buyer is actually qualified to buy. And as long as that condition's met, he's qualified to buy, by all means, man, give him as much time as you can actually possibly afford to, because the more that you do that, the more you'll get in the more you'll, trust me, if I tell you that I'm going to charge you $100 an hour for my time, but I'm going to give you 10 hours of it, and then if you value that time, you're going to pay for it, and I can keep giving it to you. If you don't find any value, you don't owe me anything. I'll walk away. If I give you that scenario versus saying, hey, I charge $50 an hour I charge $50 an hour for my time, so pay me for my time, and then I'll give it to you. I'll always get a higher value for my time if I give it to you for free first. You'll always be willing to pay me that higher value.
And I think what you just described is also a good approach for someone like me who has not yet developed these thoughts. I do have other things that I've developed before, so I'm comfortable with the development side and the sales side. But in this case, it does away in part with the lack of track record in bot building, because they're not being asked to invest up front, right?
Right.
So that's the way to I think offset that somewhat. Because unlike you, I don't have that track record to be able to demonstrate.
Well, ultimately, you don't need a track record. Ultimately, all you need is confidence. So a track record with no confidence means absolutely nothing, but you can do a lot with confidence and no track record at all. The confidence is what sells people, not really the track record.
Very cool. All right, I didn't mean to hog up the session. Thanks for those questions and the answers.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, that's good questions, Dennis.
Well, so John, I think a lot of people are interested in knowing how to actually do this as a business.
Yeah, John, just what Dennis was talking about there, about that exploratory call with you and stuff like that. How do I organize that, John?
How do you organize that exploratory call with me?
Yeah, that chat, yeah.
Well, there's several ways. There's several ways to do it. You could just message me and you could do it. You can go to this page. You can go to this page right here, the same page that you sign up for training for, and you can take advantage of this. You can take advantage of this offer right here, and you get a 1 hour. You get a 1 hour one-on-one session with me. So you can message my bot. Pretty much you could just pay attention whenever I send out broadcasts from my bot that I do live training, because sometimes on the live training, no one shows up, but just one person or two people. And if that happens, then literally you're just getting my time, and we can do whatever exploratory session that you want there, or you can just message me. So, and then we'll talk, and I'll do my process of pre-qualifying you. And if I think that you actually have a budget and you're ready to spend and you're going to spend, and if I spend my time with you, it's going to be a wise investment that's going to pay off, then obviously I'll give you that time, no problem. If I think that you're just going to try to get a bunch of information from me and then walk off and I get nothing from it, then I'm just going to smile and be like, hey, I know somebody that you can talk to that will help you out really good. So, and that's what you should do, by the way. If you're smart in business, what you should do is you should get your competitors and the people that you find really low value and are not a qualified lead and are time wasters. You should always be referring those guys to your competitors. Just be like, hey, I know this guy. He's fucking awesome. You just talk to him. You call him, and let those guys just consume all your competitors' time.
Yeah, right. Okay, fair enough. I will message you. Yeah, I'll message you now, actually. Yeah, that's sweet. Thanks for that, John. But I've got to shoot off, guys.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Give you, Mr. John, thank you for everything. I really do appreciate your time and everything you've done, and I really value your expertise and your knowledge.
You've got like 2 more minutes.
Yeah.
So the only thing we didn't go over was this messenger code right here. Okay. We didn't go over this messenger code in this customer chat. This customer chat is a live chat that goes on your website that lets people interact with your bot right through your website. It is not available yet. It's still in beta. You can't use it. Okay. Facebook hasn't released it. They've only released it to like 5-6 major corporations that are multi-billion-dollar corporations. You won't have access to it probably for 3 months. You probably won't have access to it. So you can just forget about that one. This is a Facebook Messenger code. So this is really similar to a QR code. You go in, do the same thing. You create your flow. You create your little message flow dialogue. And then whenever you're done, you get this little Facebook Messenger code. And then somebody can go on their phone and open up the Messenger app, and they can hit scan Messenger code, and they can scan this code and be instantly put into that flow and subscribe to your bot, getting that sequences of message. And that's all those tools.
Sweet. That's good. That's awesome.
So you come back in on the next one, and we can go through all these other 4 parts on this tab and what they are.
Yeah, when's the next one?
I don't know, man. The pre-trainings, honestly, I really do them randomly when my engineers aren't asking me questions and they're all busy and have tasks today. So
All right.
I'll tune in. No worries. Thanks anyway. Nice chatting to you, Dennis and Alyssa and Deanna.
Yeah, nice chatting with you. Hey, John, the other day I tried signing up for the $47 deal you have, and for some reason that button disappeared from the page, and I thought you had maybe taken it off. But I just went there now, and I was able to sign up and pay for that, so that's cool. But I'm not sure what happened the other day. It just disappeared for some reason.
Well, I'll tell you probably what happened is I'll tell you exactly what happened. And we can cover some of this in the training as well because a lot of people have asked for it. But probably what happened is the fact that there's a split test that's ran on that, and I send 1% of the traffic. I send 1% of the traffic to this page that doesn't actually have any way for you to pay any money.
Okay, got it. That's probably what happened. Because at first I saw it, I was getting ready to pay, and all of a sudden when I refreshed the page, it wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, so you
but I got it now.
You refresh the page and you came just to this page where it didn't have an offer. That's because there's this.
That's right.
That's because there's that split test going on, and I send 1% of the traffic to this guy and 99% of the traffic to that guy.
Okay. Now, it's a good thing you mentioned it now. Otherwise, I thought it just was no longer an option. Okay, cool.
No, it's just a split test. I had it set at 50-50 at first to see how the conversions were going, and they were literally going about the same. So I just dwindled it down. I just dwindled it down to 1% for really for no reason other than just to still have the split test going on.
Right. Yep. I got that. Okay, cool. So that will be on December 2nd, correct?
That's when all the training starts. Yeah, the training all starts on the 2nd. The schedule, you guys will have an interactive sequence that will go out to you in a few days. I started building it out today, and I started building it out today, and then I got distracted from my engineers and then started doing these sessions. But this is what the actual training looks like. I'm building out a sequence right now where you guys will get a message to walk you through the process to go in and say whether or not you want to be on this session and you plan on attending any one of these sessions, so that I can go in and see a numeric value of how many people have actually expressed interest in this, so that I can get a good idea of how many people I should expect on that actual training as part of a documentation process that I'm doing on this whole process. Because honestly, like this whole process here is part of another, like this whole bot training. This whole bot training is like an embedded module into another training program that I'm putting together that basically shows you how to go in and hijack a Facebook group and become a subject matter expert in something and monetize content. But this is the training schedule. So it's every Saturday in December. The very first class is going to be from, these times are on Eastern time because that's the time that the main office of my company is in Indiana, and we operate on Eastern. So it's hard coded into my body. So these are all on Eastern time. First one's going to be 9 a.m. through 11 a.m. Eastern, 2-hour session. Second one's going to be from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Then we're going to have, this is kind of like a break. It's still a session, but this is a break. It's from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. We've got a guest speaker. We've got guest speakers coming in every Saturday. We've got a guy that's coming in to talk about content curation, how to create converting content. We've got a guy that's coming in to talk about sales, how to do sales, how to do rebuttals, how to pre-qualify people, stuff like that. We've got a guy that's coming in to talk about marketing, digital marketing, Facebook advertising. We got this guy that's pretty cool, the founder and CEO of ManyChat. He's coming in. And then we've got someone else that does affiliate marketing that will come in and show you how to become affiliate marketer and make money as an affiliate marketer and augment the revenue streams that you currently have, or how to set up your own affiliate program and recruit your own affiliates who are out there promoting your products or your services and generating you more sales and marketing for you. So then we'll have, so those, like I said, those are guest speakers that will kind of go in. There won't be any real hands-on training. There may be some hands-on training in their area. Like the Facebook guy will probably go in and do some hands-on training on showing you Facebook and the Power Editor and how to go in and actually do all that stuff and targeting and demographics and stuff like that. But this is kind of going to be a break from the actual bot building, the interactive bot building, because most of the training sessions, most of like this demo bot, most of all the flow in this demo bot, most of everything in this demo bot has come from a training session where somebody wants to do this or they want to do that. So I just go in and do it right in front of them and show them how to do it. And that's what most of the training will be, is real interactive, but these will just be a break and it's going to be a QA session. Somebody's going to be talking to you about this and you guys can ask them these questions and that question. Then we got another one from 5 to 6. And then we got one from 8 to 9. So 7 hours a day for 5 days. And then also I'm going to probably restart this in January as a non-free module.
Right. These Zoom sessions you're doing currently, are any of those recorded that we can review so we can ask you better questions?
Yeah. So they're all actually recorded. Almost all of them are recorded. I've missed one already. And if you go to my bot, and you say pre-training replay, then he will deliver you some content, most likely. Well, actually, my bot's going to tell you, sorry, but this content is for paid users only, and you need to pay me $10 a month, and you can pay that now, or I'll give you one free piece of content right now so you can see the value of what you're getting, and then you can have that actually delivered. So you can go in right there and order that, and that just basically takes you to an order page where you can order all that premium content that's inside there. And then basically what will happen is you will get unlocked automatically through the actual invoicing platform that me and my company built. And then what will happen is basically that will change right there. And then now if you go in and say that you want pre-training replay, then he'll actually now go in and deliver you the full sequence of all the pre-training replays, where you can look and see the replays from day 1, which was Monday, from day 2, from day 3. And you can see on Monday, we've got 5 different sessions, I think, there. And I actually,
got it.
I need to actually go in and update. That because that should actually take you back and not say that. That should take you to something completely different. Let me just go update that real quick. That should take you. You would get this content. It's all there. It's just these guys are still referencing day 2 when they should actually be referencing. And I'm pretty sure they now all go in there where it's that guy, and they go in there. Oh, that guy right there needs to go in and say other day sessions. And then he actually needs to go in and link back in to that guy right there. So now you'll be able to go in and you'll be able to see day 1, 2, or 3. And obviously you pick day 1, you'll come here where you can see video 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or you can click back and go back to this screen here that will let you pick between day 2 or 3. And then day 2, I only had two videos that day I think it was like a total of 3 hours, but I had a lot of stuff to do with my actual company, and I had to go look for different offices because we're moving offices this month to an office that's like 3 times as bigger because I'm about to expand and hire another 15 developers. And then day 3, there's 5 videos so far. There was 6. One of them was 3 hours, but I just forgot to record it. And then I'm assuming that I'll go ahead and make a day 4, and this video right here will just automatically go in day 4 most likely. Okay. So, but yeah, all those you'll have access to, and then you also have access to most of the functions in here. If you go in, most of the functions, like you see this guy right here, spreadsheet lookup. You want to know how to go in and look up data from an actual spreadsheet. This guy has an option to show you how to do it, where if you subscribe to that premium content, you'll get the actual video and the tutorial on how to go in and actually do that particular function. So almost every function in the bot has that. If you do subscribe to that $10 a month plan and there's a thing that you want to go in and see and the video isn't there, it's probably because I either just didn't put it in there or I didn't actually physically edit the recording itself. And then you just send me a message like, hey, put this one here, and I'll go in within a day and I'll get that put in there.
Okay. As new content's added, are we notified via Messenger, or do we just need to kind of keep tabs on this initially?
Right now, you're not notified via Messenger, but you will be. I will be notifying you guys. I will be notifying you guys all via Messenger. I just haven't yet, but I'm going to go in and actually set up a flow. And the reason I haven't yet is because whenever I build my bot, most of the time I limit myself to building my bot while I'm doing a training session so that other people can take advantage and be able to learn the things themselves. So I'll go in and actually put in a flow that whenever you subscribe to this paid content, and I'll send out the flow to everybody who's subscribed already who hasn't got the flow. But anyway, whenever you subscribe to it, I'll give you the option to go in and say whether you want to be notified when new content's added. And if you do, then you'll be pushed out a notification every time new content is added.
When it comes to designing a bot, would the bot be able to keep track, I'm assuming it would, of what I've seen and what I've not seen? So even if there isn't new content, there might be content that I have not yet viewed. So therefore, it's still new to me.
Yeah.
Even though it's not new to the library. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. So when you're designing the bot, yeah, you can design that right into it where whenever you're delivered a particular flow, or even whenever you go through, let's say you go through some route in the flow, you could always just go in and design something where you go in and add some tag to the user, or have some custom field that you set. It'll probably be easier to add a tag to go in and know that it's actually been viewed. So either a tag or a custom value. So a tag works. A tag works just fine, about the same as a custom value for a Boolean. So if you want to do a true or false, it's about the same to use a tag. If you just want to say, hey, this guy is true, this guy isn't true, it's about the same to use a tag and to say either the dude has a tag or the dude doesn't have the tag. So you could go in and basically put somebody in, let's say here at this process, you could add an action to tag a user that they started this process, right? And then once they finally get out of this exit funnel here and they finally exit this guy, then you can have an action that will tag them that they finished this process and maybe remove the tag that that they started the process if you want to, but you could at least tag them that,
Right.
hey, they've finished this process. So now you could go in and know everybody who's never went through this process at all, everybody who started this process, but they didn't actually finish out the flow. They didn't finish it out. And everybody who's actually went through it and then actually finished it.
That could almost mimic the equivalent of like a training site, right? Where unless they go through all the content, they couldn't get certification or whatever that end result might be.
Yeah.
Because the system would keep track at that point, right? Completion versus not completion. Interesting. Okay.
Totally. And you can look here, multiple choice quiz. So you can go in here and actually you can take this multiple choice quiz, and this will actually score you and give you a score back after you take this quiz, a multiple choice quiz. So you can use it for a multiple choice quiz. You can use this as well for lead scoring if you want. So these questions, instead of being, just arbitrary questions about marketing that you score somebody, these questions could be, questions that relate to your pre-qualification of your lead. So you can come up with that actual lead score to decide whether or not you want to spend time with that person or not. But you can go in and actually score this, and then you could obviously design your bot where, let's say you have lessons, right? And you get content delivered from you in the bot. You get some textual content, you get some images, you get some videos. And then after that, you go in and actually take a quiz. That quiz gets scored, and you have to score a certain amount on that quiz before you can move to the next chapter, right? If you don't score that much, then you need to go back in, and you could even have, let's say, multiple versions of the quiz. You could have quiz version 1, quiz version 2, quiz version 3. That way, if somebody fails the first quiz, then you could go in and say, hey, you need to go through this content again, and then you need to take a quiz. And whenever they take that next quiz, they're on quiz version 2, right? And then in order to get to your next course, they need to actually pass your quiz with a particular grade. And once that happens, now they can get the next content for the next course, which eventually they exhaust everything and they get some certification that they pass some training course. Yeah, totally possible.
You said these flows are available. How do we access these?
So these, you go in and access, like this one particularly, whenever you get done with this flow, it says teach me how, and you just click that teach me how. You just click that teach me how, and then if you're that page user, you're going to get access to the actual content on how to go in and actually how to do this flow yourself, and how to set it up from start to finish, how it actually works.
I see. Okay. So it'll give us instructions of how to build it ourselves, but it's not that we're actually getting that flow into our ManyChat account, but all the instructions of how to replicate it would be there. So
correct.
Build it from scratch. Correct?
Correct. And you probably don't want it you probably don't want it for the most part. Most of the time, you probably don't want it in your actual account, because like this is a multiple choice quiz from some random webpage that I got about marketing. So the concept will help you very well, understanding the concept and how the scoring's actually done, all the stuff, because all the scoring basically happens through Zapier, where we send the data out through Zapier, and Zapier comes up whether that question's right or not and holds the score value for us, and eventually gives us back the entire score for everything. So, but no, it just gives you the demos and the how to do this yourself. How can you do this?
I'm assuming there's a way where if I have a link somewhere within the flow to a page to get access to certain content, as opposed to them having to fill out an email address form for me to have that data in hand, we could integrate the Facebook login button so that can automatically pass back the email profile information that Facebook has, correct? So in other words, we wouldn't need to necessarily use a traditional opt-in page to collect email addresses. We could probably use that Facebook login button as part of the ClickFunnels page to collect that data directly from Facebook. Is that correct?
I'm not sure about that, honestly. I'd have to check that. I'm not sure about that, honestly. But I mean, you can use the Facebook login for authentication, but that Facebook login for authentication limits you to the amount of data that you have. So most of the time, you're not going to get somebody's email address whenever they do that Facebook login. Facebook still isn't going to give you access to that. All they're going to actually do is give you an authenticated token that you can actually use, kind of like an SSO.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, if anyone else has any questions, I don't want to hog this up, but if no one has a question, I did have the curiosity as far as how to generate dynamic images with content that a user keys in. So, for example, if I'm asking, let's say, what's your birthday? Just a month, for example, being able to create a dynamically generated graphic that includes perhaps something you keyed in into a graphic design. So in other words, creating things on the fly that incorporates some of the input a user might have entered into Messenger.
Well, I really hate to say it, but if you want to do that, you got to get out of ManyChat. You're going to want to go with a custom bot for that. ManyChat's not going to allow you to do that right now, so they don't have any option to go in. They don't have any option to go in and do that. It is possible. It is possible if you build a custom bot. It's totally possible, but in ManyChat right now, it's not possible. It could be possible somehow through Zapier. But I would have to stop and think and figure out how we could actually do that. But yeah, ultimately, it would be what you would be given back is you'd have a reference table somewhere that you'd be looking up, and you'd be pre-populating with images there, and you'd get the URL and give it back, and pray to God that Facebook decided to resolve that URL as an actual image and not as an actual link. So. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that they do that most of the time, right? That if you go in and just get some link to some image, that most of the time, I'm pretty sure that they take this image and they actually resolve this to some nothing. So.
Yeah. It depends, I guess, if it looks like an image or not natively.
Yeah, they definitely don't. So right now you can't really do dynamic images dynamically. Now you can simulate and do a pseudo dynamic image. And what would that be like? That would be like a bunch of conditional clauses. Okay. That would be like you would come in here to some content and you'd create some content, June image, right? June birthday image, right? And then this would just hold nothing but your birthday image and the flow from your actual birthday image, right? So this would hold and this you're going to have to do some pretty good design, because if you're wanting the images to be injected in a particular flow, then that means you're going to have to break up that flow in different particular sequences, because right now ManyChat is not, even though I've asked them to do that, I can see why they're not going to do that, though, why they haven't done it right now, because it would be a really complex feat of engineering because of all the possible routes. But right now they don't let you content chain flows. So they let you content chain, they let you content chain blocks, okay? So they will let you content chain blocks, but they won't let you content chain a go-to, all right? So if you look at something like this guy right here, all right, now this guy, you see, I can content chain this, meaning I can come here at the end of this message and just hit this, and I can say, hey, I want to automatically continue to this. And this could be a message, and I want to automatically continue from this to some action group. And then from this action group, I want to automatically continue to some condition, blah, blah, blah. I can keep doing that, and I can content chain all this. But what I can't content chain is that flow. If I say, hey, I want to go to some flow, you see there's no circle here. There's no way for me to content chain that, which means there's no way. Let's say in that flow, that content was your June birthday image. Once you send somebody that June birthday image, your flow has ended. They're outside of this now, and you can't continue any process. That process is going to have to be continued from this flow itself. So from this flow, you're going to, which means that let's say for all intents and purposes that this is your flow right here, right? This guy, let's say this guy in the middle is your flow here. So let's say this was your actual go-to flow, even though it's your message, and you can't content chain like that, like this. What that means is you have to send this guy here, And then now this guy is his own independent flow that this just guy has linked to, and he's dropped them off here. And then from this flow, you're going to have to somehow be able to drop them back into what would be the natural sequence of this one flow. And it's possible, but what's going to happen is it's going to start to look ugly, because you're going to have like when I create flows, I just create completely generic pieces of content so that I can use them over and over and over again. So you have, lead qualification, right? So you got a lead qualification flow. Well, now at this point you have to have lead qualification flow A, lead qualification flow B. Now you want to insert custom image inside there. Well, now you need, let's say, custom birthday image June lead qualification, because from that lead qualification you actually have to bridge from that lead qualification image that you want to inject in that flow, you have to bridge to the second part of your lead qualification, which means you can only use that June birthday image in lead qualification flow to bridge A and B, right? Because now you can't have that image bridge you to lead qualification flow B, but to also some multiple choice quiz flow B, because it just can't route to both places. So now it becomes really ugly. But I'm hoping that they're going to go in and give us some way where we can content chain those actual flows. So
sure.
Until then, you can still have a hack, you can still have a workaround for it, but whatever dynamic image that you want to give, you want to make sure that you're giving at the end of a flow, and you don't need to do anything else after that. And then you can just basically have some condition that says, hey, if you're June, then show this image. If you're July, show this image, and then just break off and go into those different routes.
Okay. Got it. Okay. You're right. It does get messy at that point. So, okay. I can see that. You mentioned JSON before as a way to auto reply when there's a post.
That wasn't the JSON, by the way. The JSON is just this data that you're going to put inside the ad. Whenever you create a messenger ad, you're going to feed it the JSON data inside the ad itself. So that doesn't reply to the post.
Oh, I see. Because I'm thinking, I understand if I have my own page, I can set up the bot. But if I am posting something, let's say, to a group, can I embed a bot in my post so that as people comment on that post, the bot will automatically reply?
No, that you can't do, because you can't post to a group as a page. You can only post to a group as a person. You can't post as a page to a group. You can share a page's post as a person. As a person, you can go share a page's post to a group. But the comment tool only works on the original post. It does not work on the actual shared post. All right. So what you can do in that situation, what you want to do is you want to use that messenger reference. You want to use this ref tool right here, because now you can share this ref tool. Now it won't capture anybody that comments on the post, but it will capture anybody that clicks on the link. Anybody that clicks on the link in that group will now be injected into your bot at whatever flow you wanted them injected at.
Okay, got it. All right. Extremely helpful. This has been really, really good, John. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. No problem at all. So anything else? Everybody else, I think Alyssa, she just sat back and just wanted to listen to what was actually going on here. And you're connected twice, right, Dennis? You have 2 connections?
Yeah, I have. Visually, you're on my screen, but the audio is coming through my phone. I just had a problem doing it. So yeah, I'm connected twice.
Okay. So I see Deanna and Alyssa. You girls have any questions or anything that you want to ask?
Oh, really overwhelmed. Just listening, my brain is like, huh? It's like mush right now.
Well, I will tell you guys this. I do have a little bit of an advantage because I have 2 degrees in computer engineering and I'm a natural genius. But this stuff is not hard. Okay? None of this stuff is hard. You spend a little bit of time, it will come natural to you. It's not hard.
Okay, yeah.
But I think that's where the $10 a month option you had is very helpful, because then we can review the prior videos at our individual pace. Right. So I think that's definitely a good option.
Yeah, I'm just getting into this. I've got like 14 subscribers. I've been noodling with it a little bit to see what I can do, but then my brain just keeps going, and then I go, well, how do I do this? And so it's a very slow process. I'm old, and it's a slow process.
Well, I will tell you, I will tell you one thing, Deanna. I know a 70-year-old lady that comes to my training named Marva Cook. She's 70 years old. She leads a whole group of senior citizens, and they all build bots for their Facebook pages. Even she teaches them how to build bots.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
So
That's very cool.
So you'll figure it out. It's just like anything else. I mean, you're gonna have to. It's not magic. That's just you've paid ManyChat $10 a month, and it's just gonna automatically, now you know how to use it. You need to spend a little bit of time, and if you're smart, link up with somebody like me or somebody else that's really, really good at this and doesn't mind helping people and enjoys helping people, and then just, bootstrap off of their knowledge. So go in and take all my content and look at that, because then you don't have to spend your own time trying to learn how to do something. You can just watch me and see this is exactly how it's done.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, I know it's a learning curve for sure. And I'm getting some of it. So I think I haven't screwed anything up yet. So I'm doing good. Baby steps, as I tell my kids, it's baby steps.
It is. It really is. And it's not that hard. You spend a little bit of time at it. Once you learn a few key things, then it becomes really, really easy. And just so you know, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, finish what you're saying. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I was just going to tell Alyssa, just so that she knows, that the last week of our training is pretty much dedicated. So the training is kind of on the fly, that it will be agile, and it will mutate with whatever the greater amount of the class actually wants to go to. But I do have an actual plan and an agenda that if everyone's quiet and no one says, hey, I want to see this or see this, I'm just going to follow my lesson plan. And the last week of training, the very last week of December, that entire day of training is dedicated to only teaching you how to start your own bot building agency, how to do your pricing, how to acquire clients, how to close sales. So that's all that week is dedicated to, for you to learn how to actually start your own bot building agency.
Okay, no, I want to start learning how to build my own bot first before I start selling it.
Right. I was telling that was for Alyssa, because that's what she's really wanting to do. But obviously, obviously you need to know enough to be dangerous to be able to go out and sell this product. So if you want to sell it to somebody, then you need to know enough to get them to say, yeah, I want to give you money for this. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I'm in direct sales, so I'm kind of gearing this towards my specific niche in the business. And I'm trying to build it with the philosophy of what, what I've learned and how to apply it from real life into a chat bot to free up some of my time, like by pre-qualifying people and figuring out their needs for certain things that, that I would have to do over the phone with them or in person, but I could do this through ManyChat. So that was my goal. So I'm just figuring out how to best implement that if it's, that's what I'm trying to figure out. And I don't know this terminology either. Like, I am not a computer person. I don't know all this terminology. So when you guys start talking about flows and all this stuff, and I'm going, huh? like the dog that goes, huh?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you your best option there. Okay, your best option there, if you're hearing those things when you're talking to me or on a training session with me, you just raise your hand, turn on your mic, make a comment, and say, I don't know what that means. Could you tell me what that means? And I'll just stop and tell you, hey, this is what that means. And all a flow is a route, right? All a flow is, you can just think of it as a pathway. This is a flow right here. This is one in particular flow. Okay, somebody's going to come in here. They're going to go in there. All right.
Okay, this so it's like a conversation then.
Yeah, this is another flow, a little bit more complex. Somebody's going to come in here, and then after they come in here, they're going to either pick this option or that option, and based on that, they're either going to come over here or they're going to come down here. It's just a little pathway, but it all starts one way. So this is one flow. Now this flow has several different routes. There's a route where they can come here. Now once they come here, this is a conditional block where they can either come over here or go over there based on a particular condition. So this is a route inside the flow, but this whole thing is just one actual flow that it's it's a dialogue. Let's say, I don't know, because we haven't talked yet. I don't know what you do and what your business does, but you can think
Okay.
when you pre-qualify somebody, like you want to go in and pre-qualify your lead and make sure that that's a somebody you want to spend your time with. That's a flow.
Yeah.
You must have some process that you're already using to do that so that you know
Yes.
how to automate it. That would be an actual flow.
Yeah. Now I know how to do it in person, but I just want, like, now it's just to get it over onto the mini chats, because it's time consuming. I mean, it's really, really time consuming, and I'm a very slow typer. So copy and paste is my friend, but I don't want to do that. I want to be like, I want to treat this bot like it's me, but it's not me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. I understand. I understand 100%. It's all in the bot, Dennis.
Okay.
What I have in the bot, it says unlock content, which takes you back to the payment page.
That one's not you. This one isn't you, right?
Yep, that is me.
This is you, Dennis Paul.
Yep.
Okay.
The payment was just processed.
So I'll take your word. I'll take your word
yeah,
for that.
Let's see.
So now you can actually go in. I'll take your word for that. It just didn't actually go in and update this, because what happens is it's on a zap, and that zap fires every 15 minutes. So
I get it.
In that same
Yeah.
flow, there was a button that says "You're welcome." Right now, if you would have clicked on that "You welcome" button, and then a couple other things would have actually happened. And one of those things would have said "I paid," and if you would have clicked on that "I paid," then it would have actually triggered an automatic zap to go back in and look to see if you're trying to access the content before the 15 minutes expires. That because the zap runs every 15 minutes. So, I just went and updated you, so you should get it all now.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know if anything happens on not seeing the payment process, because it came up with the thank you page, and it went to a little step. It looked like Stripe.
Yeah,
so I keyed it into that.
Looks like that right there, right?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, cool.
So yeah, totally looks like that. And what I would tell you, Deanna, is what you could do is just figure out the value of your time. You do want to learn some things, all right? You do want to learn some things, but if you're really good at selling and you can do that, and you can make good money spending your time doing that, you don't really want to go in and actually learn how to build a bot. You want to find somebody who knows how to build a bot and outsource it to them. If the time expenditure for them to build the bot ends up being a lesser value than what it would take you and your value of your time to go in and build it on your own, then you just want to outsource it. So like, for example, me, I hire college engineers over here. I started the second office of my company over here in the beautiful country of India, because economies of scale makes it really, really low cost to hire a developer over here. Now, right over here, this guy right next to me, this is a Microsoft office right next to me. I got a Lenovo office over here. I got a Tata office. I got a Cognizant office. I've got literally huge multinational brands that hire all their engineers right here in the same place. So, and just because it's economy of scale, it's cost of living so low over here. The number one export of India is engineers. I mean, the number one resource that you find is a computer engineer. Eventually, all engineering is going to be done over here, because there doesn't make sense to pay me in the US $120,000 for the same guy. I recruited a guy out of IBM, worked for IBM for 4 years, worked in the industry 5 or 6 years before working in IBM. I recruited him out of IBM. His actual raw salary to me is right now 80,000 rupees. So 80,000 rupees, that's an exchange rate of 63. So that guy cost me $1,200 a month. Now, once I apply all my administrative overhead and come up and actually calculate his cost to produce, this guy ends up costing me, let's say, $2K, right? So this guy cost me $24K a year. Same guy in the US, $120K a year. So just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I hire freshers. I hire freshers out of college. These guys have a 4-year degree in engineering. I put them through a 3 months real intensive training. You can see how I release content. When I release content, I don't really bullshit people. I tell them what they need to know. I talk fast, and I release a whole bunch of content. So I do the same thing in the training with these guys. I put them through a 3 months training to prepare them to actually work in an industry. And these guys cost me. These guys literally cost me for the first 3 months. They cost me 10,000 rupees. After that, I give them a 5,000 rupee raise. Now they cost me 15. At 6 months, I give them a performance evaluation up to 30%. So now they cost me some 1,800. At 1 year, I give them another performance evaluation of another up to 30%. So now after 1 year, they cost me 2,300, 2,400. I apply some administrative overhead on them. Let's say maximum, they cost me 30,000, right? And that's a inflated number. That's a real inflated number. So this guy cost me
Right.
476 bucks a month. And I do a standard production week of 35 hours. My guys work 9 hours a day. Minimum, that's what they're paid for. They get an hour and a half worth of breaks, and I figure for at least 30 minutes they're going to be doing something non-productive. So this guy clocks in at $340 an hour. So and this guy is an engineer, right? This guy is a skilled engineer, been trained by me. This guy can build a bot. So now at this point you have to figure out, hey, how long is it going to take you to actually build your bot? Is your bot is it going to take you,
Right.
15 hours to build your bot? Well, what do you value your time at? You value your time at $50 an hour. So how much did that cost you? $750 of your actual time. Now this guy would have worked for 200 hours. Now, what do you think? And this guy has a degree in engineering, right? So there you are sitting there working for 15 hours, creating $750 worth of value of your time that you could be investing in getting a new client, making some more sales, making some actual revenue. And you're doing that inefficiently because you're not a bot builder. You're not an engineer. These things don't make complete sense to you. But for the same thing, you could have given this guy 200 hours for that same $750 worth of value. He could have went, and what do you think he could have built you with an engineering degree, building bots every day? What do you think he could have built you in 200 hours? So you just have to put it in perspective what you really want to do. Now, if you want to build a bot agency, all right, if you want to build a bot agency and start selling this as a service to clients, well, I'm not going to tell you need to build every single bot, but the first couple bots you do need to build because you need to understand this so that you can be an expert and make the sales. But if you don't want to build a bot building agency, and you just want to implement a bot for your company, then unless you're just strapped for money and you don't have any money and you don't have any extra money, then you may not necessarily want to build it yourself. But that's a decision you can make on your own.
Those are really great statistics. Thank you.
So what else you guys got? Anything else?
Hey, John, I'm still on that demo bot messenger screen.
Yeah.
I still only see unlocked content, which again takes me back to the invoice. Am I supposed to be seeing something?
What screen are you on?
Well, a messenger where I can see a picture of you, your kids. Right above that, it talks about the $10 per month, and below that, it says unlocked content.
Okay, so how did you get to
when
that?
I click on unlock,
yeah. So
how did I get?
Yeah. So what you want to do? You did
Mm-hmm.
that. You did that pre-training replays, right? That keyword.
No, that's what I was missing. Okay, so I forgot that part. I didn't write it down. So
Yeah, that
pre-dash, right?
Yeah, it's pre-dash training or just pre-training. That message that I already sent you isn't going to go away, okay? But now if you go through the flow to get back whatever flow you went through to get to that message, if you go back through that flow again, you won't get that message, you'll get the physical content.
Okay, I just went to pre-training replay.
Mm-hmm.
And it says you can check out all the replays of live pre-training shows below day 1, day 2, day 3. So that's the part I'm supposed to be at, right?
Yeah, that
That's
gives you.
the full time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
if
just
you
missing
look,
the keyword.
right, if you look here, see, if you look here
Yep.
in this flow, what happens is if you give that keyword pre-training replay, if you give that keyword, well, what do I do here? Now, this is not a complex flow. Maybe it looks a little complex, but it's really, really simple. What happens as soon as you come in, you go through this check to see if you've actually paid. So if you haven't paid, then I bring down here and I check to see how many free pieces of content have I delivered you, because I will deliver you one free piece of content that you can choose from so you can see what the value of the content that you're paying
Right.
$10 a month for is. Okay. So
Yep.
now you go into that flow. Unless I've already delivered you a free piece of content. If I've already delivered you a free piece of content, then I just directly route you right here and telling you, hey,
Yep.
go in and pay for this content. Where you're going to is you've went here and you've went to this yes because you have actually paid. So now you have access to all of these guys,
Right.
the actual individual pieces of content here.
Got it. This is a great tool for flow charting this entire process. I mean, it's really good.
This is
It looks overwhelming, but it's really not. I want to understand the blocks.
yeah,
Very
and it's
cool.
not. This is not complex at all. Especially if you go in and keep things organized. So I'm a neat freak. I like things to be in order and to make sense.
Well,
So,
engineering background.
but it's not hard, and this is pretty. It looks a little complex just because you got all these lines, and the only reason you got all these lines is because I don't want you to get lost. I want you to, you came here to day 2, right? You came to day 2, and there's 2 videos. So you decide you want to watch video 2, or you decide you want to watch video 1. Well, once you get video 1, I don't want you to have to go through a whole entire flow again to try to find this video, to try to get, video 2. Or if you decided video 2 to try to get video 1. So I just link up to each one, okay? So like over here, you go through this flow and you say, hey, I want day 3. Well, you can see day 3 has 5 videos. You want video 1? Well, once you get to video 1, you can easily get back to any of the other days, or you can easily go and now consume video 2 or video 3 or any other videos. So that just makes it easy for that navigation, because if not, people are going to get really aggravated with your bot because they're having to do too much stuff. If they just have to click buttons, then they're fine with that. If they just got to click buttons, because then they know what to do.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, John, so you're going to send out a notification when your next session is going to take place, correct?
Yes, I always do that. So let me just double check. Let me just double check here and make sure that you'll actually get that notification. Because to get that notification, you have to have a special tag in here that says that you are pre-training interested, and you are pre-training interested. So, yeah, you will get a notification that lets you know that you're pre-training interested. That you'll get a notification that will go in, and you'll get something just like this, because I created it just a few minutes ago, and it was just starting live training that I just created this on a demo earlier, where you'll get something like this that will just go in and look and see if you're a male or female. And if you're a male, it will give you this. If you're a female, it will give you that. Literally the exact same message. One just says Mr., one says Mrs. And then you'll be able to go to this flow, and basically this just says, hey, I'm doing a training, and you can say, hey, I'm in, and get notified of that training, or you can say not today, or you can tell me you're annoying me. And if you tell me that, then I just kick you out of my bot because you're being annoyed by me. If you don't want to do the training today, then I bring you to a flow where you can pick which day you actually is best for you, and then I tag you according to that, so that now if you say, hey, Fridays are best for me, well, now come Friday, I'll just go look for everybody that has this tag, and I'll target them at first, and I'll say, hey, you want to do training on Friday? We're doing training right now.
Okay. From a ManyChat billing perspective, if I have, let's say I have 100 people who sign up today, not sign up, but message me in response to a post, right? So now they're actively engaging with the bot. But let's assume I have a very simple flow where I just answer them with one thing back. At what point does that person no longer become an active subscriber, so it no longer affects me from a billing perspective?
Oh,
in other words, I have 100 today. Those 100 remain always in active mode, and therefore I'm paying every month for them?
until he unsubscribes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But in ManyChat, you're not paying by the subscriber. You're paying by you're paying by the. I mean, you do pay by the subscriber in a way. Okay, you pay by the page, and you get up to 500 subscribers, and then after that, you're at a new price plan. I think $29.99 a month to a higher tier of subscribers, like 10,000 or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
he stays a subscriber for forever until he unsubscribes.
I see. Okay, got it. All right.
That's why I do this. That's one of the main reasons that I do this right here. And whenever you tell me something like, hey, you're annoying me, or no, I'm not interested in this, that's it. You're unsubscribed. You're not, you don't want this training. You're not interested in this content. You're not interested in that. Well, guess what? My content's going to be the same. Probably I'm going to keep trying to give you content. I'm going to keep trying to help you with a bot. Help you with what you're actually doing. And if you're telling me that, hey, if you're literally going to tell me you're annoying me, well, guess what? You're unsubscribed from my bot. I won't annoy you anymore. I won't send you any more content. You won't be one of my subscribers, because I don't want subscribers who don't want to actually take action in the stuff that I'm giving them, obviously, because I'm not just collecting subscribers so I can just go show some number and be like, hey, I've got 300 subscribers or 700 subscribers. I'm trying to get action takers who are going to subscribe to some content, consume that content to build up a trust where eventually they're going to actually convert on something. And if you're not going to convert because I'm annoying you, well, then I don't need you to tell me to stop or unsubscribe. I'll just do that myself. I'll unsubscribe you myself. No problem.
If I have multiple bots on one page and the same subscriber subscribes to those multiple bots on that same page, it still counts as only one subscriber, correct?
Yeah, I mean, they're different.
In other words,
they're different subscribers in different bots.
Page.
So it's technically two different subscribers because they're on two different bots.
Okay, so it's not really active subscribers per page, but really it's per page per bot.
Right, and I'm just going to tell you, you really don't want to have two bots on one page. That is no good, and that's just a call for a major headache. You really don't want to do that.
Okay, so it's just okay.
I mean, there's no real logical reason to have two bots on one page, except for the fact that if one, let's say, ManyChat completely went down, you could have a secondary bot that backs up the process that could step in and handle the flow and the content.
Okay, so like in your case here, for example, you have this entire flow set up for the demo bot. If you were to have a second course, let's say, an entire second set of content, you would build it on top of what you currently have here, and not build it as a second. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I would just build it. Yeah, of course, I would just build it all. If it's going to relate to this particular page, then yeah, I'm going to build it all inside. I'm going to build it all inside this bot. Now I can keep everything segregated and make sure only certain users get this and only certain users get that with conditional logic right inside the bot. But I'm not going to, if I have a secondary course, then yeah, I'm definitely not going to build a secondary bot for that. I'm just going to add new flows and new content in my existing bot to support that secondary to that. I mean, and plus, I mean, my current subscribers are probably going to be interested in that secondary course. So I don't want to put them in a whole new bot. I just want to deliver it right then and there.
Okay. So from like a ClickFunnels perspective, this is almost equivalent of a domain. And within a domain, I can have multiple offerings, multiple pages per se, and they can all branch off. And not everyone has to have access to everything.
Correct.
It all depends what to qualify for and what I want to give them access to. But it's really off of one big domain to make the analogy.
Correct. I mean, you could go in, for example, if you want to, okay, you can go in and create some new content. You can go in and actually create some content. Now, I should have just marked this. I'm going to delete it. All right. So you can go in and create this content right here, have a condition here. All right. Now you've got a thing. You've got a go-to thing that is called a default reply. What happens whenever your bot doesn't understand something, right? And then you've got an actual content flow here. So you can do this. You can just go in and do something this simple and say, let's say this is a keyword. All right. Let's say you now go in and attach this flow to a keyword. Well, you could go in and have a condition and say, well, if my users are male, then when they give this keyword, I'm going to send them this message. If they're female, then I'm going to send them a default reply just like this keyword does not physically exist. And you can isolate it just like that. You can do it by tags. You can do it by values and custom fields.
Wow. Okay. Right. So in this case, I'm not building on top of the prior flow. It's a different flow, but within the same bot. Correct?
Correct. And that's why
Okay.
I really preach to people is you want to do how I create almost every single thing, unless I'm in a huge hurry. How I create almost every single thing in my bot is I first go to new content and I create a generic piece of content for the flow that I actually want. I want to pre-qualify a lead. I come here to new content and I create a flow, pre-qualify lead. Now, whenever a user comes in and asks me about my product or service, let's say I can take that product or service keyword and attach it to this pre-qualified lead flow and deliver them that content. But now this flow is its own generic little piece of content that I can use anytime I want. I can use it inside another flow, just like I do here. I've got a generic flow right here. And if I want to send somebody directly to this other generic flow that I always send people to, if they want to try to access content that's paid and they haven't paid for it, they need to pay for help, I can send them directly to that flow. And the easiest way to do that is go in and anytime you want to create something, first create this generic piece of content. Now, once you create this generic piece of content, then you go in and reference that somewhere else. You attach it to your keyword or attach it to a growth tool.
Right. That lets it build modularly.
Yes, it lets you build very, very modularly. And now when ManyChat decides that they want to introduce this function of flow chaining where you can now chain entire flows, then you're already going to be set up for things. That way you can have, for example, you can have something here called verify email address or get user email address. And now inside a flow, you can have a conditional check that just says, do I have this user's email? Yes or no. If yes, then move them to this part of the message. If no, then just send them to this generic function, get user email. And then once they're done with that flow, bring them back and send them to the same part that I would have sent them if the condition was yes, that I had their email address. And you can't do that right now because ManyChat doesn't allow you to basically content chain the generic flows, but they're going to build that out. And whenever they build that out, you're already be there for it.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you're building it in modules at that point, so they become reusable.
Yeah. That's how you do real engineering and real programming. Everything's modular.
Yep.
I mean, before I became a computer engineer, I worked in a machine shop. So I worked as a process auditor, and I worked as a line leader, and then I worked as a journeyman machinist in a company called Ison that they do basically all the work for Toyota. And in a manufacturing environment, everything is modular. That's how you can produce so much because everybody just does this one little function. And then all these little functions just get funneled out into somebody else's little function. And what's their function? They just put all the parts from these other little functions together and bam, all of a sudden you just build a car in 3 hours because everybody's just doing this one little function. This guy's doing this, and this. And these guys are sending their parts out to another guy who makes a bigger part. And then those parts are being sent to another guy that makes even a bigger part. And finally, they're all put together into one actual unit. And that's the best way to engineer stuff. That's how you mass produce stuff. And that's how you really scale things around because now just imagine you want to do stuff and every single flow, you want to go change something. Well, you got to change it in every single flow because you don't have a generic flow. You just input thing to every single flow. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be huge. And if you're paying somebody to build your bot, it's going to be expensive. If you're building it on your own, it's going to be expensive because it's going to cost a lot of time. So it's better just to go modular like that.
Essentially, it's a library of functions.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool.
Great. Well, I think let's call this one done, man. I'll notify you guys when the next one is. I'm going to have guys coming in here in a little bit that I need to schedule some work for. So I'm really glad you guys came and participated so much. I'm really glad for the support that you guys gave me. So that helps a lot. And then I'll just give you guys a notification when the next one starts. Okay.
Thanks again.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
My pleasure. You guys have a great day or night wherever you're at.
Thank you.
Okay,
You
thank
too.
you. You too.
You're welcome. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Dan.